This is In My Lounge Room, and I'm your host, Skye.
And I'm your other host, Damo, and on today's episode, we're talking about priorities. Hey, Skye, how you doing?
Good. Well, you know, I'm here at my house. You're there at your house. Yep. We're great.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's reasons. I mean, we can kind of we can bring that into the theme of the episode as well, in such as sometimes life gets in the way of frivolous activities, and podcast, unfortunately, is not a priority. I mean, it's
until we're making like millions.
I don't think anyone makes millions from podcasts. I think probably maybe Joe Rogan is.
Yeah,
but,
he definitely is.
I don't know about millions, but you make millions from your sponsorship deals. You don't make millions from podcasts. So
look, I'm happy with $1 million sponsorship deal. I'm fine with that.
Well, I mean, if we could get that, because your advertising goes at a per 1,000 listener basis.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
If you've got 1 million listeners, divide that by 1,000 and then multiply that by the rate of the ad. You never know.
Okay, come on, people, share.
So we need to get lots more people listening. So and advertisers.
Yeah.
So we might as well call out right now. If anyone out there's got a small business, because there is protocols for this kind of thing to go through Spotify to do all their official bullshit, so we can get sponsors and stuff. But you know what? I don't really give a shit if we got small business owners who listen to the podcast who want to advertise on our show, rather than advertising HelloFresh or fucking these big companies who advertise
some
on
random mattress.
Yeah, that advertise on every bloody podcast. If you've got a small business and you want to advertise, hit us up. We will charge the going rate for podcast advertising. I'm not going to say what that is on the air, but there is a going rate, and it is at a per 1,000 people. Yeah, so any small business owners, hit us up and we will discuss rates with you. It will be reasonable because it is a per 1,000 listeners. And I don't think we have 1,000 listeners. So
not yet. We're getting there. We're getting there. Slowly.
But so we've just had our first interruption. Well, actually, no, it's not our first interruption because we had a couple before we started recording.
Yeah. So well, it's been a crazy weekend. So I worked Thursday, Friday. We had a reunion at my school on Friday night. So just shout out to one of the reunion members, I won't say his name, who mentioned that he listens to the podcast.
That's good.
Yeah, I know. And so I did that, and then we had a bush dance on Thursday night, and then basketball.
Oh, wait, hang on. Bush dance.
Yeah.
So were you doing the Pride of Erin and
it's a
hoedown?
That? It's definitely a hoedown.
Yeah. Okay. So was there square dance?
Yeah, there was.
Holy fuck! Are those dudes all 90?
Pretty close.
Jesus Christ! Because I saw the Mucky Duck Bush Band when I was in pre-primary. They came to our school when I was 5 years old.
So the first time I saw them, I was 10 at school, and now they come. We've restarted the bush dances around 2016. So they're all 100.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Although Friday night and last night I didn't go because I just kind of you plan to do something and you lack motivation, and then once again you got to prioritize your time.
You do.
So yesterday I actually ended up going to a friend's birthday / Halloween afternoon.
I love Halloween.
I was home by 8 o'clock, but it wasn't. It was just it's his birthday, but it was if you want to dress in Halloween theme, if you want, go for your life. But what was actually on last night that I wanted to go see was Jebediah. Now they're 100 as well.
They're my age, but whatever.
They played Friday night at the Railway in Fremantle, and then last night they played at the Charles Hotel in North Perth. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to interrupt the flow of the show right now. Skye's recording stopped for some reason. At this point, she was telling a story about, because we went on about, we're collecting famous things or, getting autographs, and we're talking about people who pay for weird shit, like pay for autographs, for example. And she sort of told a story about someone she knows who paid for a piece of Madonna's poo, or allegedly Madonna's poo. So I think at this point, I'm just kind of making a point that it's just a piece of poo unless you got it verified by Madonna. And she was saying that it was someone she knew who took it from the toilet, I believe, at a hotel they worked at. So, and allegedly, the person who sold it to this person said that they did that, and I made the categorical statement that there's no way to prove that's actually Madonna's poo. So anyway, we're going to jump back in now and carry on as if nothing happened. But there's about 4 minutes of the show missing at this stage. So,
no, it's just like it's just someone I know, like I know,
yeah,
sort of, yeah.
It's just so weird, like of all the things. But yeah, like you said, like paying for a lock of someone's hair, or like, I don't know, if you can't prove it's them, it's not them.
Unless you see them chop it off and then they sign it, I don't know, an affidavit or something, I don't know. Just
them signing and having it verified as their signature would be enough to say this is my poo. But if it's not, it's stolen poo, it's stolen property. You
gross.
Just bought stolen property.
Oh, so you just bought poo.
Although if once you've done the poo and it's in the toilet, is that the property of the hotel?
Yeah, I think so. It must be. And it was only because she must have flushed and not all of it went down. I don't know.
So okay. So hopefully it wasn't. It could have been one of Madonna's dancers or tour manager. Could have been any number of people in that hotel.
We will never know. All I know is that that this person paid for poo that could be anyone's.
That's what it comes down to. This person paid for poo.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if have you ever paid for any crazy, have you bought anything crazy that you just I know I have. You just spend money on things that are meaningless just because.
Yeah.
So we can't really. No, we can't really judge them for that though, because I buy a bag of chips just because a bag of chips is yummy.
Yeah, but that's not poo because you think it's a celebrity's poo. This is next level. This is what have I? And these OnlyFans like fart buyers.
Well, getting back to that, I think that people will pay for all sorts of weird shit if they think it's there's a. It's a sexual fetish.
So, I know someone said to me, they're like, if you want to really make money, you could sell your your gym knickers, the underwear. And I'm like, yeah, but gross. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, but you think it's gross, but those people think it's hot. Yeah. No, that's one of the even predating OnlyFans. That was selling underwear was a really big thing.
But you had to do it old school, through a newspaper or something, wouldn't you? Or how would you do it?
Just set up a website. Set up your own website. I know people who have, considered that in the past as a money-making venture, because you can. You can just go to Kmart and buy a 7-pack of undies that $10, cost you $5.
Yeah.
And then you just got to wear them. Take a photo of you wearing them.
Yeah.
Right. And then you sell them to someone for $100.
Yeah, and then they're happy.
You put their name on it, to Barry from Skye, or your made up name, your made up OnlyFans name.
Savannah.
And that could be your entire OnlyFans. Is just selling grotty undies, and they want them to be worn and not washed. Or
that's exactly what it is. And then I could if I had 10 regulars, I could.
How many pairs of undies do they want to buy though?
I don't know.
But suppose you could get different levels. You could personalize, you could be have a video of you wearing the particular pair of underwear, and just going, Barry, these are yours, and then writing Barry on them while he watches the video, and then they're just Barry's, and then you could sell them to Barry for $1,000.
Yeah.
I don't know. Speaking of OnlyFans.
Yeah. I was going to say, did I tell you about the Elephant Man experience I've had? Did I tell you? No, sorry. His name was Elephant Man, but the gigantic lady. Have I told you that story?
Okay, so he didn't have like a gigantic nose or
he just called himself
a bulbous.
No, I don't know.
He called himself Elephant Man.
He had a photo of an elephant, like he was an Instagram, and like that was and he called himself Elephant Man, and he messaged me going, "You've got." I must have.
So he didn't have big ears, or like wasn't deformed.
Maybe he was an elephant, and he like had the ability to use Instagram. I'm not sure. I'll never know. But anyway, he messaged me going, "You've got really nice feet," and I was like, "Oh, here we go, thanks." And he's like, "Have you ever heard of gigantic women, giantess women?" And I'm like, as in like very tall women. He's like, "No, think like 7-foot woman, the movie." And I'm like, okay. No.
Sure.
Okay. And he's like, so basically, could you send me photos and videos of you, like the videos of me like eating a banana really close up and being like, this could be you, whatever his name was, right? And photos of me like looking like I was going to like step on him with my gigantic foot. I mean, like, move out.
You're not very big. You're 5'6".
I know, but the angle. He wanted me to do an angle, so it looked like I was about to step on him because he was so small and I was so big. Yeah.
You should have taken him up. What was he offering?
Lots. Like now I think about it, he was offering like £200, a photo, and like £450 a video. And at the time I was telling my friend, she was with me when I got the message, she's like, "Oh, gross, don't do it." And now I'm like, silly Skye.
Fucking do it.
Yeah, look how easily I did that, just right there with you.
Yeah, but the only thing is, once you've given them that video, you have to have a contract in place.
Yeah. That he doesn't share
that
it.
They won't share it or it don't turn up anywhere. So when it does, you can take him to court.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they'll just be like, "Oh, there's no clause. There's nothing here to say that I can't share this. I purchased this video, so now it's my video and I'll do what I want with it."
Yeah.
You have to has to be a contract clause in there to say, if you share this video, you owe me £10,000. You know.
Yeah.
Although they might make them share it anyway. They'll just be like, "Bugger it for £10,000."
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
they get to share because they might get off on that.
So then I went hunting. I went hunting to see if I could find him, but his account's disappeared now. So he found his giantess lady, and he's happy getting lots. I was now like, that would have been easy money.
Yeah, well, I mean,
just to eat bananas.
We've had discussions on fetishes before, and as long as no one's getting hurt. I can't judge anyone for any of their fetishes. People are into some shit.
They are.
Good on them, you know. Some people are into just sitting still and doing nothing, you know. If you want to have ladies step on you and eat bananas, I'm like, what's the...
I think because it was like an easy thing to eat and you could see the size of my mouth eating the banana. I don't know. I think I could have eaten other things.
Like if you were up really, like if you had the camera kind of like up.
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
You really couldn't see my face. He didn't care about my face. He wanted to see like my mouth, my teeth, eating the banana that was gigantic woman. Yeah.
Right, so like extreme close-ups, like get a macro lens and just get way close up on your mouth. And then he could really, like as if he was going to be eaten next. I'd be like, "This will be you next if you're not careful," and then just eating and yeah. Wow. I wonder if there's any do we have any fans that are sex workers who could tell us of like their experiences in that kind of thing? Because I'm sure that's pretty normal, like to have that, because that comes into that whole female domination thing, like, you know. But he wants them specifically to be large. Or tall, like giants, giants, and you know, going to step on him like scary giantess ladies. Death by snoo. How many women that big exist in the world, though? Like none. Not many. The 7-foot woman movie was it? Or was she 7 foot? Was she 70 foot? The 70-foot woman. 70 foot. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. That was a movie. So not many women that big exist, Damo. 70 foot. No, but 7 foot. I don't know. Even She-Hulk was 6'7". There you go. And so I feel like she's pretty big. Yeah. I don't think there's many. Pretty big.
I think there's many 7 foot, but no 70-foot women. But I would have been one eating those bananas and stepping on little men.
You could have had a whole different life by now.
You'd be interviewing me as the 70-foot woman fetish lady.
I don't know about that. See, but the thing is, if you were the 70-foot woman fetish lady selling videos of like squashing men, or you could even take it one step further and actually get men to lay down on the ground while you just stand above them eating food.
Yeah.
You don't even have to touch them, but I probably wouldn't know you because you'd be like, well entrenched in that world.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have come across you.
That's true. I would have been at Sexpo, which was on.
Exactly. I was going to say, Lucy's at Sexpo.
Yeah.
And she posted a photo with her with Christian Hull, which is really cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Hey, have you ever listened to Sushi Mango or seen any Sushi Mango videos?
No, I haven't.
Oh, they're so good.
I need to. I know.
For me, are you aware of who they are?
A little bit, but not only because I think you've mentioned them. That's it.
Okay, so I'll just say for the people who don't know. So Sushi Mango is 3 Italian guys in their mid to late 30s. 2 brothers, Carlo and Anthony, I think, and then there's I can't remember their names. But anyway, they do skits about their parents, like the Italian dads and the Italian grandparents, the Italian mothers, and it's fucking hilarious for me. Because I grew up with my best friend as Italian, and his grandparents, and there's one with the and I was speaking to an Italian guy at work as well. You put on a jumper. Where do you go? You not live with no jumper. And then like the mum put on a jumper. You had to be there, but it's damn hilarious. And the old Italian granddad watering his concrete. What are you fucking do? It's great. It just reminds me of growing up. But so if you ever have any Italian friends,
I do.
Have you ever experienced their parents?
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's so funny, and we're talking like 80s and 90s or 80s
old school
parents.
Old school.
Like the way, just the way they were was very, very funny.
Food, everything was about feeding. And all
it's
that.
like there's no like a snack at an Italian household is a 4-course meal.
It is,
a light meal still has 4 courses.
Oh yeah.
But me, that's where I developed my love of food, was having an Italian friend whose grandmother was an amazing cook, and so that's where I developed the taste for like homemade gnocchi, for example.
Yum.
So when I moved out of home and I moved to the city, and I went to a restaurant and I ordered gnocchi, I was like, what is this shit? What is this? What is this shit? This is shit. What's the fucking gnocchi? This is shit. And like when you get things from packets, I'm like, what is this shit? I just didn't. I grew up with home cooked quality Italian food, and even at home, because my auntie is married to an Italian man.
Oh,
so like I'm just used to real authentic Italian food. And so when I go to Italian restaurants, and I'm like super critical of Italian restaurants, because unless they're really fancy, they're all shit. They're all a shit. Yeah. And most Italian restaurants, that's a shit. So if you know a really good Italian restaurant, put me on it. I mean, sitting right here, I've got my monitors are sitting on cookbooks, right? Because that's probably what I want. And I've got Italian trattoria, I should say, sitting there as Italian cookbooks are all around me. So
there you go.
Yeah, love me some Italian food, and that's why I think I love food so much, is because I knew Italians growing up. Italy is the pantry of the world.
I love Italy. Yes, yum. Well, my godmother is Italian, and my family are Hungarian, so I've always been around Europeans, and food is good. I love food too.
Yeah,
I just like eating it. I prefer eating it than cooking it.
Yeah, I think I like both, but you don't get a
Hey, can I just say? Sorry, I made burgers last night, and I didn't.
How'd that go?
Well, I made them, and they weren't the 99% lean meat.
Oh, you actually used fat in your burgers.
I did.
So did you buy mince?
I did. I did buy mince.
Just the cheap grade mince.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what you want.
And I will admit it.
Yeah.
They were better. They cooked better. And they tasted better. And they cooked so much better. And, okay.
Because you don't have to put oil in the pan because they're loaded with fat.
It was crazy. I was like, oh, okay. Because I did what you told me. I trusted. I was like, okay, yeah, you make great burgers. And, it was hard for me. You don't know how much it hurt my heart.
Yeah, I understand. But, you've got to kind of like, even the nutritional information is on the packet of the mint, so you know exactly what you're having.
But it's really weird doing.
So what was it, like Coles or Woolies, like 3-star mints or something like that? Or
that's exactly what it was.
I think that's 18% fat.
Yeah, about that. Yeah,
so, which is still low. You want to be going like, I like to go 30%.
Okay, look, come on.
But well done.
Thanks.
20% at least. 80-20 is excellent. So if you're going...
Yeah,
if you're going 72-18, you're close enough. But 80-20 is like what most burger places use. And it's so much better. So I've known people who've gone, oh, yeah, I make burgers, but they always end up dry. What's the secret? And so people do stupid things like... like there's that old school, and it's not even old school, like the real old school way of burgers is just meat. But then for some reason in the 80s, Australians were putting fucking breadcrumbs and chopped up bits of carrot and, and eggs and shit in your burger.
That's what my mum does, yeah.
That's not a burger, that's a rissole.
Right? Exactly.
A burger is just, by definition, a burger is minced meat or alternative product like beans or something.
Yeah.
But it's got to be minced up. That's why a chicken burger is not a burger. It's a sandwich because the patty in it, the fillet, it's not a patty. It's a fillet. So it has to be a patty. So as long as it's minced up, it's a burger. You can put other shit in it if you want, but really a beef burger is just beef. So you just put beef in it. You just put it in. You season it like a steak. You put some salt on it.
Yeah.
You put it in the pan. You give it a bit of a push down so it gets a nice seal. You make sure your pan's super hot before it goes in, and away you go. And it's not dry.
It wasn't dry.
The moisture comes from the beef.
It was. I mean, because I had the boys stay over. I had like two boys stay over, like for a sleepover last night. So I did burgers and like homemade chips for dinner. And I went, okay, Skye, you've got this. You can do extra lean mince.
Yeah, it's a fail. Extra lean mince is great for plenty of other things, but not burgers. So how did it go having... how many children did you have in your house?
4 boys, 2 age 6, a 9 and a 10-year-old. Yeah.
Oh, Christ. And just you?
And me. Just me. From 3 p.m.
Wow.
From 3 p.m. yesterday until 11 a.m. today. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
All right. So I can understand why you messaged me, because I messaged you this morning going, hey, what time are you coming up to the podcast? And then you messaged me around lunchtime just going,
I'm not.
No, I can't. I'm like, yeah, all right. So I just kind of thought I'd leave
you alone. And then like I said to you, like I don't know what time, I was listening to the dollop on the couch while the boys were on there, and next thing I was fast asleep, and then I woke up, and then Benjamin woke me up to go, I want noodles, and I was like, where the heck am I? What's happened? Like, what's going on? Yeah.
I had a nap this afternoon too. It was wonderful.
Yeah. Well,
I went.
Yeah.
No, sorry. I went out after I messaged you. I went to a Hyundai dealership and had a look at cars just kind of drooled a bit.
Yeah.
And then I came home, did some shopping. Then I came home and had a nap.
Nice. Well, I thought that nap needed to go for an extra 45 minutes. I can't believe the dollop put me to sleep.
You got to, you need to find a way to put the boys to sleep as well at that point.
Well, no, neither of them went to sleep. They were quite happy being just grumpy instead.
Right, because they've had no sleep. Yeah.
2 a.m. I walked out to the lounge room to tell them to turn the Fortnite off. They'd woken up and turned it back on and were playing.
So they were all crashed in the lounge room.
Yeah, so not Benjamin. Benjamin slept with me. He wanted to sleep with me, and the other 3 crashed in the lounge room. And the youngest was asleep. The other 2, the older 2, had woken up and were playing Fortnite, doing all that weird I've got him, I've got the back, and I'm like, get to sleep now.
Who were they playing with at that time of night?
Just each other playing whatever they're called.
Oh, like offline.
Yeah, they play one's got his what do you call it? Switch and the other one's got the Xbox. And
yeah,
so
but they weren't online playing with a bunch of crackheads.
No, they just play like dual missions or whatever you call it.
Because if they're online at 2 a.m, they're not playing with other 9-year-olds.
No, they're certainly not. No. I think they are playing against other people, but they're not communicating with them. They play together and just communicate with each other, and they can kill whoever's playing at the same time.
So it'd be adults though.
Oh, 100% it would be adults. Yeah. But anyway, I just walked out and said to them, I did just go, "Excuse me, could we please turn the Xbox off?" I was like, "Crash on!" Like there was like flames.
I'd be just like, all right, no worries. Go behind the TV, remove the power board, and take that to bed with me.
Oh, I just took the remote. I took the remote and went, yeah. So the Xbox, I couldn't believe it.
Oh, cheeky buggers!
I know. And then I just woke up automatically at 5:30 because that's what my stupid brain does. And then the next thing they're whispering away, and I'm like, oh my God. So yeah.
Have they even slept?
I don't know. Benjamin said Joshua's had 10 minutes, and I'm like, possibly.
What would you know, mate? You've been asleep.
He had a great sleep in my bed. It was lovely. So yeah.
Do you remember when you were a kid and you had sleepovers, right? And you sleep over at your friend's house, and then you wake up first.
Yeah.
And
so
you don't know
what do I do?
Laying there.
Yes.
Can't get up.
Yeah. I know. And because if it's your sleepover, you can just get up and blah, blah. It's your house, but at your friend's house, it's like, where's the toilet again? Where, oh my God, if I see the parents, what do I, you know what I mean? You're just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. Go.
Yeah, no, I was going to say when I was a kid, I was sleeping over my mate Paul's place, which is the Italian friend. I'd slept over at his house so many times that it didn't matter anymore. I'd just wake up and go make breakfast. And
that's different. That's a nice feeling. Yeah.
They're like your family at that point.
You've never had one night stands, have you?
Nope.
Okay, so that's weird. When a few times when I've woken up the next morning and be like, morning. And then
and then you have to do the walk of shame.
So sometimes some people some have been lovely and have made me breakfast and coffee, and it's really chatty, and they're like, okay, bye. And then other times I'm like, how the fuck do I get out of this house? Yeah.
No, I haven't had that many sleepovers that weren't someone I was in a relationship with, and even then, not that many sleepovers really. But yeah, no, it's always been a strange. I'm thinking, I'm sure I've woken up. No, I mean after parties.
Yeah.
Like you go to a party. Like I remember once in Meriden, there'd always be an after party after the pub. Like everyone would go to the pub. Pub would close at midnight. You'd go get a burger, and then you'd head to. Do not do that. Little shit. Sorry, Kat was about to knock my other pair of glasses on the ground. Yeah, and then you'd end up at someone's house for an after party. And I remember one time I got put up in the spare room, and I woke up in the morning and there was a Jack Russell licking the inside of my mouth. And then I look across, I'm like, what the fuck? And there's an Alsatian standing halfway across the room, just sitting there looking at me with this look on its face sucked in. He was being a good boy because he was a big good boy, but this little shit of a Jack Russell was like, I'm going to lick your mouth. You got your mouth open. I'm going to lick it. So I woke up what the fuck is going on?
Also quite gross.
It's great.
Yeah.
So, earlier in the week, I think there was we were discussing a couple of things around prioritising.
Yeah.
Now, obviously can't get too into it, but I suppose we can kind of in vague terms discuss certain things need to be prioritised over others.
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
One of those things, and I think a few weeks ago when I told that story of the items in the jar, and the big rocks.
The rocks and the sand, etc. Yeah.
So you got to focus on the big rocks first, because if you try and put the sand in the jar first, you won't have any room to put the big rocks in. But if you put the big rocks in the jar, the sand can fill up all the gaps. So the big rocks are your family and your health, and those are the things you need to prioritise. But in my experience, and one of those things is your children.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? In my experience, that doesn't seem to be the case for everyone.
No.
Do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah. I'll say something happened this weekend, and in the end, I won't say too much, but basically, I will do anything for my boys, right? We know that, like, I put them 100% number one, no matter what. Like, I sacrifice a lot for them. I always have. And they have basketball every Saturday, and Benjamin goes first, and then Joshua goes in the afternoon. Well, so their dad went to Benjamin's game and didn't go to Joshua's game. That's all I want to.
Then that's fine. Yep, that's fine.
Like, maybe he had something else in the afternoon, and that's fine. But I don't think
as a child. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
you don't think,
I just don't think you can choose one.
No, you can't.
Like,
you can, like, if you're going to put certain areas of your life first, you got to be consistent, right?
Yeah.
So you can't go, I put my kids first, but only one of them today. I think that's just it's quite sad. It really upsets me a bit. I don't want to say too much about my personal feelings. I don't know the guy, but I just think it's a little harsh. Like, 'cause imagine how the kids feel when they're like, well, why are you here? Like, if he just wasn't there,
that's
that
okay.
Wouldn't be you would be like, well, he prioritised something else in his life. Well, we do that.
Yeah.
It's like if you have a partner, and I think I've experienced this where relationships haven't worked because people that I've been in a relationship with expect me to make them my 100% number one priority. It's not possible. I've got Billy.
Yeah.
I've got work.
Yeah.
I've got other things that have to happen. So I can't be, look, I'm at your beck and call. You have to plan ahead with things. So if something's that, it's one day a week.
Yeah.
Surely you should be able to prioritise that. And when it comes to relationships, you can prioritise your partner, but unfortunately, and I'm not saying those two have got anything to do with each other. I'm not saying that what happened with the basketball. That's just an example of, like, an adult prioritising themselves over their children.
Yeah.
For whatever reason that is. But which I'm not going to comment on because I don't know what that reason is. Yeah. But personally, if I can, unless I'm restricted by it, like if there's an event taking place at Billy's school, and like recently I started a new job, as you know, only 4 months ago. It's just on 4 months now. There was things that she needed me to not be at work for, but I hadn't worked there long enough. I can't just be taking leave. Now it's a bit different, but I've also got flexibility in my my workplace where like once a fortnight I have to take Billy to a therapy appointment. Her mum takes her on the other week, so I've got that flexibility. So she becomes my priority to do that. But sometimes I don't think people can kind of balance those priorities in their life.
Well, okay, so like last week or the week before, Joshua got really sick, and so I had to then work from home and be his mum, and then Benjamin got sick, and so I just had to go, they're my priority right now. Like I still work from home, and my mum, who is amazing, came and helped me so I could still work. But at the same time, like I just went, I'll work when I can. I'll work at night time when they're asleep, but right now I have to be a mum. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever heard the saying, you work to live, you don't live to work? Do you want to break that down?
Oh, sure. Okay, sure. Okay. I feel like until recently, we all lived to work, as in work was the priority 100%. Yeah.
I've never felt that way. But that's only because my dad told me when I was very, very young, never live to work.
So
if you're living to work, you're doing life wrong.
So I agree, but that's how I used to live, particularly working in politics. I definitely, I killed myself for my job, 100%. Whereas actually my ex-husband has never done that. He's always worked to live, always had holidays and had a great life, and never understood my whole gotta work, oh my God, gotta do this email, blah blah blah. So
it puts a strain on your mental health. It puts a strain on your relationships. You should never. Work is something we have to do, and if I was religious, I would refer to I'm not religious, but I've read the Bible.
Yep.
But there is a passage in the Bible which basically it's on that premise of the the working to live thing, or the living to work, is that you don't. It's a means to an end. There is, it comes from Adam and Eve, right? So the burden of Adam and Eve's decision to eat the forbidden fruit, etc. Okay, so Eve's punishment was pain in childbirth and menstruation. Okay, in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Right. So before she did that, but she'd never had any. She only had a couple of children. But from that, it was women will suffer in childbirth. And you will, this horrible thing is going to happen to you, and it's going to be painful, and once a month you're going to be, when this happens, it's going to hurt you, right? Or thereabouts. But it's mainly the pain in childbirth thing. And for men, it was you have to work the land. You're going to have to toil for your reward. You have to work to be able to live. You're going to have to cultivate the earth to get food from it. You're going to have to raise animals to get food from them. If you want things, you have to work for them. Before original sin, there was no work. It was just everything's provided for you. So in that sense, it's in the Bible to say if you want to survive, you have to work. So we all work so that we can survive, right? Because we need money to trade. If we don't have money, we can't purchase things.
Yeah.
We can't exist in the world. That is the only way that we should do it, is we work so that we can survive. We only need enough money. And people like Elon Musk and his $265 billion, he's not necessarily living to work, but he doesn't need to work to live. He's just working because
he likes it.
He just loves it. Yeah. And he loves having billions of dollars, but he also loves spending billions of dollars on things. He loves buying Twitter and he wants to do. He's saying he wants to do more humanitarian things. Okay, go for your life, but he's a nutbag. But we won't get into that. But at the end of the day, I think that if you're prioritizing work over anything else, you're setting yourself up for the disaster. And even CEOs of big companies that do it, they look at them. It shows in your face. Look at Obama, right? From when he started to when he finished. And I know that it was 8 years.
Yeah,
right?
but he still aged.
He aged so much.
20 years.
He went grey in the first year.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But because he had to. If you're the president of the United States of America, you have to live to work.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. All politicians do. I think all politicians age very quickly when they get in the job. And working for a politician, I was working 15, 16-hour days easy. Would work 6 or 7 days in a week, not even have a break, because there was so much. I remember one time working the whole week, flying home to Perth next morning. Flying home, going to an event that night, a gala dinner, getting up the next morning, going to a walkathon thing with her to take photos and be there as a media advisor, going home, then the next morning doing another event at 9 a.m. before we had to get on a plane at 4 p.m. back to Canberra. Yeah. And I remember Adrian going, "This is ridiculous." I'm like, "Yeah, but I love it."
But did you love it?
I did.
Or was it just what you did?
I did love it. I really did. I loved working in politics. I think if I needed to be single. You just need to be single in that industry.
Yeah, because that you have to be married to the job.
Yeah.
So what changed?
I got engaged.
Okay.
And then I started planning a wedding, and you can't plan a wedding when you're working crazy hours. So I suppose I prioritised my relationship at that point.
You decided, well, you prioritised yourself.
Yeah, I prioritised getting married and looking like a princess. Correct.
So for one day, you can live as a princess the rest of your life.
Right, totally.
You can be a princess, but you just need a king to treat you like one, that's all.
I know.
Not to like put you in a dungeon.
No. I mean, whatever, you know.
Yeah, that's what they get, metaphorically speaking. Yeah, so I think that what I'm getting at is we have to, and I'll say, you prioritise your job because that's how you get money. You prioritise your family because then you don't need an excuse to do that. It's your family. But what should you most be prioritising?
Your mental health. Yourself. Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
Prioritise you. You are the most important person in your life.
And that's like why people say to me, oh, why do you go to the gym and blah, blah, blah. How do you find the time? And because that's when I have 100% focus on me. No one can interrupt me. That's why I do resting bitch face when I'm at the gym, and it's all about me. And it's that time when I can just do what I love the most. And that's why I say to everyone, find a hobby that you love and do that as well. It doesn't have to be the gym.
I think I go one step further than resting bitch face, and I have resting psychopathic murderer face.
You do, yeah. It's probably we should never ever train together at the gym.
People just think I'm angry when I'm just sitting still. I was at work. You know what? I got called out by. I was talking about girl we work with. I'm not going to mention her name. Yeah. But I was sitting at my desk on Friday, and I just had a lot of shit on my plate. I walked in the door and there's a couple of emails that I just was like, oh, it's Friday. And I've been working on this matter for weeks that's just, been draining. It takes a lot of my emotional energy at work, and a lot of the other things that I'm dealing with at work take a lot of emotional energy. Now, I try my best to be friendly to the people around me, but sometimes I just can't. So I'd sat down I was at my desk and I had my headphones on and I was just reading this email, or I was just concentrating on whatever I was doing. And she was on the other side of the desk talking to a colleague, and she's looked at me and she smiled because I had my headphones on. And I've looked at her and I've kind of gone, I thought, I've kind of smiled back, and I've just got on with work. And she's looked at me and she's like, what's wrong? And she comes around my desk and she goes, what's going on? Are you all right? Because normally if I smile at you, you smile back. You haven't smiled back. So what's going on? I'm like, oh, didn't I? I genuinely thought I'd smiled, but obviously I was that far in what I was doing. Yeah. And then we just had a chat for the next half an hour, we talked about the podcast actually. Yeah. But just to get and it was really good because I see that, and this is really good in my team. We all we give each other this kind of support because sometimes you lose yourself in what you're doing in the job, and the kind of job that I do, unfortunately, it's not exactly fun. So, it's easy to get really bogged down in it. And that was her coming to me and talking to me allowed me to go, you know what? Fuck this. I need to prioritise myself right now, not my work, okay? I'll get back into my work when I've got a better frame of mind. But right now, I'm going to take 20 minutes, half an hour to just have a chat with a colleague. And, and it's like our managers, whilst they don't want us wasting time, they do encourage us to put some time into ourselves and to support each other. Yeah. Just because of the nature of the job. So that kind of thing was I was like, yeah, you know what? How I feel about this, or how I feel about myself right now, is more important than how I feel about this piece of work that I'm working on. And I was able to come back to it later and not feel so down about it. Yeah. But I think it crosses all aspects of your life, is no matter what, and I think this is why and why I wanted to talk about this is it is a fine line that we tread, prioritizing ourselves and not becoming selfish.
Yes, really, I agree with that, yeah. But sometimes you just have to be a bit selfish at the same time. Not all the time, but you do have to say, actually, I'm I'm calling Barley's on this, and it's about me for now. Yeah.
I mean, sorry, go on.
No. I suppose even today, I was in two minds about driving to you, but I actually thought, no, if I do that, I'm probably going to end up having a car accident or killing the boys. So,
I mean, things may have changed between the time that you messaged me and said, look, this is what I'm dealing with. These two kids are off the chain right now, basically, just to paraphrase what you'd said. But if you had gotten in the car within half an hour of that message, it would not have been fun. You don't know if 2 or 3 hours later things might have settled down, but you have to make a call at some point. I've got bigger things to deal with. And we have alternatives. We can do this. I mean, you're recording on your phone and it's probably not going to sound that flash. But at the end of the day, we do what we do.
It is what it is,
work.
But we don't get to record me singing.
No, we don't, but I'll come up with an alternative. It's okay. I've got plenty of...
I feel like it's fine.
I've got plenty of things in the pipe, so to speak. But I mean that...
Yeah, sorry. Just that made me think of Plenty of Fish. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Our friend Sarah, speaking of priorities, got a message from a guy. They were going to go on a date. He said, let's catch up.
On Plenty of Fish?
Yes. She loves Plenty of Fish. I hate it.
But look, I'm going to be honest. She does things in a weird way, so whatever. Yeah. That's her thing.
I know. She loves it. I hate it. I just don't go on it.
It's just rank. Yeah.
I agree. I don't want 70,000 men messaging me. It's just too hard.
And I don't think... I've got to be really careful. I'm going to sound like a judgmental prick. I just think the quality of people on that app is just abysmal.
I agree.
It's just from both sides of the spectrum, from men and women.
I got lucky when I met that Josh guy who moved back to Denmark. He was from Plenty of Fish. Yeah. That's a 1 in a billion chance. Not billion, that's very dramatic. But you know what I mean? That was, I don't know how I managed to meet him.
I mean, I swipe left a shitload on Bumble and Tinder as it is and Hinge. But on Plenty of Fish, I'm just who the fuck are these people? Where did he drag these people from? Swipe left, goodbye, yeah.
I know. Well, so she showed a message where she said to this guy, he was like, do you want to catch up holy moly this weekend? And she said, holy moly being the mini golf, and she said, so I think her response was wrong. Her response was, no, I can't, I have kids, and that was it. And he went, no worries, have a good life, pretty much.
No, I can't. I have kids. A few more words needed in that response, I think.
And that's it. She posted it up on Per Single saying, whoa. And everyone was like, what an arsehole. But one girl was like, I think you didn't say enough there. And I agree. But she very much went, oh, no, it's all on him. And I was like,
no.
I think that's a bit on you too, actually.
I'm going to say that's on her.
Yeah.
And his response was, you know what? I can't be fucked with this.
Yeah. So
I don't have a problem with his response to that in any way. Because
I agree. Yeah, I probably would have been like, I can't this Saturday. I've got the kids. I could maybe look at getting a babysitter, or what about next weekend? That's would have been mine.
What she's basically said is, don't ever ask me to do anything because I've got children.
Yeah.
That's not true. What she was actually getting at was, I can't do that particular thing because I have my children at that time and I don't have the option for a babysitter or whatever, Yeah. Not just, she shut the door on him.
Yeah, totally.
Without giving any explanation.
Because she loves to share her experiences, but I was a bit in this case, you're in the wrong. You're 100% in the wrong.
Yeah. Not necessarily in the wrong, but
sorry.
She approached it incorrectly.
Yeah, definitely.
If there's a correct and an incorrect, I think it's not always black and white, but I think in this instance, you can probably say, I would, as a man, that's the kind of thing where I might go, what do you mean by that? Do you never go out because you've got kids? But then it makes me think, because what it's saying is or you could question it in a sense of, So why are you on a dating app if you can't go out with people because you have kids? What are you getting at?
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, she's now got, I mean, she's two, like her ex has the kids 2 weeks and she has them 1. So she's got heaps more spare time.
Yeah, so in effect what she was saying is I have the kids now and she doesn't want to, because she's only got them for 1 week out of 3, sacrificing her time with her kids.
So she was prioritising her kids.
Because she doesn't have them all the time. If she had them like you have your kids, right? And I know from myself having I was in the same situation as you were a year ago, where for the last 6 years, I have had Billy 11 nights out of 14. Or 12 nights out of 14.
12.
2 nights a fortnight. And I'm not saying 2 full days, 2 nights a fortnight you get to yourself.
Yeah.
Now, if on one of the other nights someone's like, oh, look, you don't want to catch up, you can go, well, you know what? I have these children by myself for 12 nights a fortnight. So I am going to put myself first and I'm going to go out and meet this guy. I'm not going to go to Holy Moly because, like I've said before, going to things like that on a first date is
wrong.
Couldn't do it.
We know how. Yeah,
I couldn't do it.
Well, I love mini golf, but I just feel like
not a first date.
No, but also like I was quite calm the last time we played with the kids because the kids were there and Joshua was doing all the drama tantrums.
Yeah.
But I'm quite competitive, so normally if I'm playing like mini golf or any form of sport, I'm like awful.
Yeah, but you want people to see that. You want them to know. You don't want them to like fall for you and then find out that there's aspects of you they don't like. You know, you want people to know who you are up front. But what I'm getting at is. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, they're going to work that out. And what if they don't like that kind of person and you pretend you're not that kind of person and then 3 months
I don't mind losing.
Yeah, and you're like making fucking voodoo dolls of them. No, because that's what Marika was doing a few weeks ago where she was like, it was you said to her, me. Oh, don't do that, don't scare them off. And it's like, no, fucking do that. And if they get scared off, that's a them problem, not a you problem. He's intimidated, you're not intimidating. But so in that regard, going out on mini golf, for me it's just like I don't want to commit to fucking 2 hours with someone who you're talking about the golf, and like some people will think, oh yeah, but that's cool because you're doing a fun thing together. No. Do a fun thing together on the second date when you know you've got something in common.
First date is, we all know first date is drinks and coffee. Actually, I just had a guy.
Get to meet someone.
I had a guy.
Sit on a park bench if you want. You can sit on a park bench and have a conversation on the first date. You don't have to go actually do something, but don't commit to something that's going to trap you there.
Yeah, and definitely not go to the movies. And so I actually just had a Bumble match ask me out for coffee. So I'm like, yes, cool. That's a good.
For sure.
Yeah, because we know coffee is good, and I'm not stuck there.
Let's always also face it. If you're on Bumble, your plan is to meet someone, so shoot your shot and ask the person out because that's the whole thing, right? Is to go, okay, would you like to meet for coffee? Yeah. If they say no, then they got to have. It's usually no. Not that day, or don't ask for a specific day. So, do you want to meet for coffee? They'll go, yeah, sure, I'm free Saturday or whatever. But do you want to play Holy Moly? No, I've got kids.
No.
Like I said, I get her wanting to prioritize that time that she has with the kids because it's limited, because she only has a third out of
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Then I understand that, and it takes a 6-week period for her to get around to having them twice. So it's a month and a half. So she's like, it's a third of the time. I understand that, but communicate that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's what I think she didn't do. That's what she did wrong. I did message a guy saying, hey, let's catch up. And he was like, oh, I'm just really tired. I'm just between naps. That's a lot for me to think about now. And I'm like,
well, hang on. You weren't asking him, let's catch up right this minute, were you?
I was like, hey mate, do you want to organise to catch up? Well,
hang on, did you say hey mate?
No, I did not say hey mate. Hey mate, what do you think?
Hey mate, hey mate, you want to catch up?
Yeah.
Bring some durries.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Hey. Yeah.
The fucking message you sent me this week where that dude said
They literally said, hey, I'd just like to I'm just pretty cool, eh?
A-Y-E.
Yeah,
AYE is pronounced I, by the way.
Aye, Captain, but he was saying aye. Yeah, so
aye.
then
But so you asked the guy out for coffee.
I just said, how about, do you want to try and organise a time to catch up? That's all I said. Because I was like, well, we've been messaging now for a few days. I'm done with this. Let's either catch up or not. I didn't say that. I thought it. And then he was like, oh, yeah, just between naps. Just don't know if I could really...
I get that he was prioritising his health by having a nap. But, I mean, I had a nap today. So did you. Naps are freaking wonderful, especially on a Sunday.
Yeah.
But, and the big but, I like big butts and I cannot lie. And most other brothers can't deny that when a girl walks in with an itty waist and a round thing in your face,
you get
sprung. Look, I get it.
Yeah.
But if we want to delve into this a bit more, is he incapable of, like, having thoughts?
Well, to be truthful, I responded back with saying, look, I'm not asking us to make a decision, like a finite decision right now. I'm just saying,
I'm also not asking for, like, you know, the half-life of a freaking uranium atom, you know, like, can you tell me that?
I'm just saying, maybe we could just organise, like, to catch up. So, yeah, but you know what? When you're between naps, your brain's just not ready to decide on whether you can...
I mean, I do get it. You wake up fuzzy, but don't respond.
No, wait until you
just wait until you're coherent.
Between naps, I was just like, fuck's sake.
Like, don't pick your phone up.
Yeah.
Like, if you wake up from a nap and you're planning to have another whap. We always want another whap, right?
Who doesn't?
Yeah. Unless you're Ben Shapiro and you don't understand what it even is.
Wow.
Or why would someone's vagina be wet? That's weird. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Do you remember that? He was like, well, my wife doesn't have a wet vagina. It's like, tell us you're terrible in bed without telling us you're terrible in bed.
Right.
Tell us your wife's not attracted to you without telling us that your wife's not sexually attracted to you.
Meanwhile, I just get guys telling me to get myself wet.
Get yourself wet, yeah.
Highlight of my dating life. Got to be the highlight. Yeah.
So I'm assuming that conversation then, therefore, didn't go any further? Yeah,
well, I responded with, like, you know, blah, 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 whatever, and he hasn't responded since. He hasn't replied since. So I'm assuming if I go quickly to Bumble right now, let's have a look if he's... No, I haven't got a response from him since I was sort of like, well, I'm not asking you to, like, you know, commit to forever. Oh, I just matched with someone. I just swiped on him because he was cute.
There you go.
I just said, it's a general question. You don't need to be specific. And then, like, nothing. So he's obviously so offended that I suggested that maybe, you know, you can make a decision. But
yeah, well, bugger that. No, that's a... Might expect you to, like, I don't know, if that's the case, you might be expecting him to, like, you know, make decisions in a relationship.
Well, yeah.
Heaven forbid.
Oh my God, my friend just messaged me that say her son slept all afternoon. She couldn't get him out of bed.
Yeah, meanwhile your boys are, like, powering on.
I know, fully powering on. Where was it? Anyway, go on, sorry.
Yeah, so the A guy and his what was it, 19 days after you telling him, like, you said some smart ass shit to him that I'd said to you, like, which was warranted because he was, and then he's come back and, like, just whatever I can't remember what he said.
I can't even. I've unmatched with him.
And then you're like, what do I say? And I said to him, what was it? Something about, I see you've, have you run out of conversation with your other matches or something? And he's like, I'm not having conversation with anyone else. I don't do that. I don't talk to them. And I would hope that someone I'm talking to, and it's like, oh my God.
I know, just like
outed yourself as a dickhead.
In your book. And that, before then, though, I had, like, his actual his statements hadn't been like, he didn't come across as an idiot, but then he did. Yeah.
Yeah. They always do. I was having
Eventually.
having a chat with Karen earlier this week, where she'd sent me a couple of screenshots. I can't look at it right now because my phone is the interface we're talking to each other
annoying.
through. I mean, I can, but this whole thing of like you'll lose me on.
Let's not do it. Yeah.
But yeah, to the guy had a photo on his Bumble profile was of 7 books and a tennis racket. And so Karen, being, quite a thinky person, has books, you read. Oh, yeah. And so she's started talking to him about the books and the tennis, whatever. And he's like, oh, yeah, they're just books that I've read over the last 2 years. And I'm like, 7 books in 2 years?
Okay. Wow.
Okay. Quite the reader. And he had Dan Brain and Jodie Picoult and stuff there. Dan Brown, I should say.
Yeah. I knew who you meant.
So it was like he was making a statement with his books as well. He's like, hey, I'm going to go to... He went down to a bookshop and was like, now what books...
Bestsellers.
What books am I going to put on here that make me look like I know booking? And so she'd said a few things to him, and then he started talking about he's looking for someone with traditional values, and she's like, what's that mean? Everything, she's kept coming to me and she goes, oh, look at this guy. And so, what she's like? She just plays along with them until because they will just expose themselves as a fucking dickhead. And
until they break.
I said, do you want to take bets on how long it takes for him to turn around and call you a whatever? I think I used the C word. But, yeah, she's like, oh, it's definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he was, because I don't have it in front of me, but everything was a kind of just a vomit-inducing, well, I'm looking for a woman with good morals and, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And so she's like, such as, and he was just being super vague, everything. So she just kept calling him out and just and what does that mean? It's like when someone makes a racist joke or a sexist joke and you go, why was that funny?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, but you're like, oh, can you explain to me how that's funny? Because I don't understand it. And then they have to explain to you why racism's funny or what about their racism was funny.
That's always fun. Yes.
Yeah, and then you can go,
yeah.
Not quite sure that's funny. I think you're just think you're a dick.
Yeah, funny in racist land.
Yeah. It was funny in 1954.
Right, yeah. Not so funny now in 2022. Oh my gosh, can we just quickly talk about Netball Australia? And the reaction.
The Diamonds,
Yeah, the reaction of the community has disgusted me. So, I know we're coming towards the end and I have a child standing over me like a sergeant major. But
or like a 70-foot woman about to step on you.
I'm pretty close. I'm just so sad at how people have reacted and responded to basically the whole team defending their teammate and a very racist history of a sponsor.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I've got to say about that is I don't think there's any evidence of Gina Reinhart being racist. I think that but I understand that this player has every right to say that
I don't want to wear. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that the withdrawing of the sponsorship was a little bit full on.
You think?
But it's a little bit well, that person is upset, so I'm going to take away all my money.
Yeah.
Don't know if that's necessary.
Careful. I think probably what should have happened is a private meeting should have been held where they said, she's not going to wear the logo, we're going to support that. Maybe an apology about the fact that your dad is an asshole. I don't know. Something.
He's dead.
Yeah, but I know, but what he said.
What's it got to do with her? And yes, he said terrible shit, but she never said it.
No, she didn't say it, but I feel I don't know. Look, I just feel something.
I know my dad said some pretty bad stuff about black people when I was a kid.
But
so
you're not going to.
I would hate for any of that to be held against me. because of I would hate for people listening to this podcast to go, oh, I once heard your dad say the N-word, so therefore I'm not going to support you in your podcast.
Look, and I get that, absolutely. And I'm not saying she should apologise for him, but she should just either admit that what he said was wrong, and then, which he was terrible what he said, but I think to withdraw sponsorship is pretty.
Yeah, that's not the right way to do it.
But the comments out there are disgusting.
Yeah, I think people need to pull their heads in a lot of aspects that don't actually involve them. But yeah, I mean, that's what I meant. My only thoughts on it are, she never said it. Her dad said it. It doesn't make her a racist.
No.
But withdrawing her $15 million sponsorship from a sport where these women don't even get to be professionals.
No.
That's really
they're
fucked.
not AFL players. They're not AFL players.
And then for everyone to blame this girl and go, oh, you've just cost Netball Australia $15 million. It's your fault. No, that was Gina Rinehart's choice.
Yeah.
This girl was speaking up for her thoughts and her beliefs, and her teammates have supported her. Now, if the entire team said, yeah, we're not wearing the logo, then of course the sponsor has no choice but to withdraw their sponsorship or change their sponsorship to go, all right, well, if you're not going to wear my logo on your jerseys because that's the actual deal, I will need my logo displayed on team other things in the team. Because if your logo is not being displayed anywhere, your sponsorship is worth nothing, and you have every right as a business person to withdraw your money. That's not sponsorship. But if one member of the team is like, I'm not comfortable wearing this because that person's father was a racist, then you can go, all right, don't wear it.
Yeah.
That's fine. Go for your life. Don't wear it. I understand. But once again, like I said, my dad was a racist. Well, he wasn't when he died. He came around. But in the 80s, back when Lang Hancock said that horrible shit about breeding out Aboriginal people, I guarantee for a fact that I've heard my dad and his friends say very similar things, and even worse things about Aboriginal people and Asian people and gay people. But me, if anyone tried to hold that against me, I'd punch him in the fucking mouth because I'm not a racist.
That's totally fair. Yeah, to be truthful, I don't know what my dad said. We lived in Derby for a long time, and he had a lot to do with Indigenous communities. So I don't think he was, but maybe towards Asian. So I really can't say.
I dated an Aboriginal girl for a fucking year. You know, one of my best mates is Aboriginal.
Yeah.
I don't.
Look,
but that.
But I'm not going to, you know what I mean? Nobody's going to hold anything against you because of the history, because it's you, and that's what it's about. What Gina Rinehart's done withdrawing the sponsorship is wrong. There should have been more discussions. That's what's sad about it. And the fact that everyone is blaming this poor woman, not Gina Rinehart, this Australian player.
No. I think just the blanket knee-jerk reaction of, well, fuck you, I'm taking my money back. That's wrong.
It's terrible.
A dialogue should have been had about, okay, then what can we do? Or to come forth and just go, look, can we have a meeting because I need to communicate with you. I do not hold any of the beliefs of my father. I
think that's what should have happened, and I can't believe it didn't happen. That's what I'm shocked at.
Because it's one of those situations, and I had this, there was something to do with a case at work where, stating one thing to be true does not make the contrary true.
Yeah.
Okay, so me saying I love chocolate is not an opportunity for you to say, why do you hate caramel?
Exactly.
I didn't say I hated caramel.
You
I just said I like chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
So, yeah, you being positive about one thing doesn't make everything else negative. I'm allowed to like one thing more than the other.
It's true.
So, but if you don't at least acknowledge, if someone says, oh, your dad's racist, therefore you must be racist, and you don't come out and go, I'm not racist, then people, and then you withdraw money because someone's called you racist, you kind of look like a racist.
It looks terrible. Yeah, I agree.
I just don't think, taking that money back, not a cool move.
No.
Kanye West, on the other hand, is a fucking racist, right?
Yes.
He's a racist.
Anti-Semitic,
and he deserves to have lost all the money that he's now losing.
Everything that he's gotten.
Everyone's he was publicly out there being a fucking racist.
It's disgusting. Disgusting. Also, though, can I just say, Twitter is going crazy with anti-Semitic and racist comments now that it's owned by Elon Musk. So just saying, it's pretty bad out there.
I don't know if those two things have got anything to do with each other. But
well, I'm just saying.
I'm
making a very general statement, but I've just noted.
I think that's a coincidence, because that's what. I mean, I think it's more to do with that's what Kanye West did, and people think it's okay to do that. But I don't think Elon Musk has come out and gone, by the way, everyone, time to start bagging Jews. Now I own the thing. No, he hasn't said that.
No, okay, he hasn't said that. But there is a lot more anti-Semitism around. It's really, like, I know it's always been there. Obviously, I'm not silly, but it feels like it's way more aggressive these days. So I'll just continue saying I'm a proud Jewish woman.
I think that in a lot of ways, a lot of things get kind of get ignored because people are putting focus on people are putting focus on other things, and they forget that these things exist. So it's hard to focus on all of the social issues at once, and while we're focusing on certain social issues, others issues
disappear.
Get ignored. And then we forget that but they don't disappear. It's just we forget they're there because they're not being spoken about.
I mean, they disappear as a priority.
That's right. And then we come back around and go, oh, that's right. People are fucking anti-Semitic dickbags. People are racist. Oh my God, why the fuck are people homophobic? They haven't stopped. That's the problem.
Other things appear and take our attention. You're right.
That's right.
You're right.
So we need to somehow be able to focus on everything. But unfortunately,
that's exhausting.
Coming back around, we can't. We have to prioritize certain things.
Course.
And one of those things is you can't be giving a whole heap of energy to
a million things. Look at you. I love that. That was beautiful. Congratulations on bringing that back to priorities. I'm impressed.
Anyway, we're going to wrap it up because somebody's there yelling in the background. And thankfully, this is going to be on two completely separate tracks. So I'm just going to edit you out for that whole bit. It'll just be me. That's why.
5 minutes.
Yeah, that's why I just kept talking, because I'm like, no one's going to hear what he's saying. It doesn't matter.
Okay, you need to be quiet for 5 seconds so I can say goodbye, okay? Okay, I think definitely he's done. I'm done.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Feed him, get him to bed.
Yeah, see you later.
All right,
bye.
See ya.
Oh, baby, baby. Oh, baby, baby. Oh, baby, baby. How was I supposed to know? Something wasn't right here. Oh, baby, baby, I shouldn't have let you go. Now you're out of sight, yeah. Show me how you want it to be. Tell me, baby, 'cause I need to know now. All because our loneliness is killing me, and I must confess, I still believe when I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign, hit me, baby, one more time. Oh, baby, baby, my reason to breathe is you. Boy, you got me blinded. Oh, pretty baby, there's nothing that I wouldn't do. That's not the way I planned it. Show me how you want it to be. Tell me, baby, 'cause I need to know now. Oh, because my loneliness is killing me, and I must confess, I still believe. When I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time. Baby, baby. Oh, baby, baby. Oh, baby, baby. How was I supposed to know? Shouldn't have let you go. I must confess that my loneliness is killing me now. Don't you know I still believe that you will be here and give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more And I must confess, I still believe when I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign, hit me, baby, one more time. My loneliness is killing me. Don't you still believe when I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign, hit me, baby, one more time.
Thank you for listening to In My Lounge Room. Intro music written and performed by Damien McKay. This week's outro song was performed by Damien McKay, originally performed by Britney Spears, written by Max Martin.